Merry Christmas, everybody. Here is a holiday puzzle created by none other than Pal Benko, a late Grandmaster from last century who specialised in puzzle creation and also has a gambit named after him, the Benko Gambit, one of the soundest gambits there are. Let's dive into this puzzle because here we have a Christmas tree shaped position with the king as the foot of the tree all the way up to the bishop on e8 at the top. And it is mate in 2 with white to play, so feel free to pause the video and have a little look, but we'll dive right in. First things first, well, the moves I was considering initially were the knight moving, and these do look tempting and do of course lead to mate. It is very winning for white in all lines, but not mate in 2. If the knight moves to g5 or c5, the king will take the rook and the bishop covers enough to just keep the king hanging, and then once the rook drops, the pawn drops, etc. And if knight takes d6, stopping that, the king is briefly almost checkmated, but then bishop e4 starts giving the king some escape squares. And if the knight comes to here, the king can take d6 and so on. For that reason, it is not the knight moving. And well done if you found the move. It is queen c5. First things first, it threatens checkmate on d5. And secondly, it exploits the overloaded rook of d4 and c5 and the overloaded pawn of c5 and e5. If the rook takes, then the knight pair jump in and deliver a magnificent checkmate here, with the bishop just blocking the escape route and the pawns as well. And likewise, the rook is maintained and the bishop and so on. Big bear hug of that king. And if the pawn captures, then rook e5 is also checkmate. The knight defends these squares, the bishop does the same job on this pawn and the rook is covered. And we see once again the king is checkmated. So queen c5, the queen cannot be captured. If the rook captures, the knight jumps in. If the pawn captures, the rook jumps in. There follows the only other move, king f5, and at this point, well, the queen has survived and has jumped in to the position and can play queen takes d5, which is actually now checkmate. The bishop continues covering these light squares, knight covers the pawn, bishop covers in here, and the queen does the business and delivers checkmate. And that is the Christmas tree puzzle by Pal Benko, very famous puzzle. Hope you enjoyed that and have a Merry Christmas. See you all in the new year. Cheers.